Riding a manual motorcycle is a thrill like no other. Power at your fingertips, speed under your control, and freedom with every twist of the throttle. But even seasoned riders can unknowingly make mistakes that turn that dream ride into a nightmare. We're breaking down the 12 things you should never do on a manual motorcycle. And trust me, you won't want to miss number 1. These 12 things can turn your dream ride into a repair nightmare. Number 12. Ride with underinflated tires. Riding with underinflated tires might seem like a minor issue, but it's a fast track to trouble. When your tires don't have enough air, they flex more than they should, causing extra heat buildup. This heat can weaken the tire's structure, making blowouts a real threat. Definitely not the kind of thrill you're looking for on the road. Underinflated tires also mess with your bike's handling, making it feel sluggish and less responsive in corners. Ever tried running in sand? That's your bike on low air. Worse, your braking distance increases, so stopping suddenly might not go as planned. To avoid these problems, get in the habit of checking your tire pressures at least once a week. Use a reliable gauge, not just a squeeze test. Your bike's manual will tell you the correct PSI or pounds per square inch. Keeping tires properly inflated doesn't just boost safety, it also improves fuel efficiency and prolongs tire life. Number 11. Neglect chain maintenance. A dry, rusty chain doesn't just sound awful. It can cause jerky acceleration, uneven power delivery, and premature wear on your sprockets. The fix? Regular cleaning and lubrication. About every 500 miles, or sooner if you ride in wet or dirty conditions. Give your chain a good clean with a brush and some chain cleaner. After it's dry, apply lube evenly and let it sit for a while to penetrate the links. Don't go overboard though. An overly greasy chain attracts dirt like a magnet. Also, check the tension. A chain that's too loose can slip, while one that's too tight might snap. Your owner's manual will have the specs. A well-maintained chain doesn't just smooth out your ride. It extends the life of your bike's drivetrain and saves you money on repairs. Number 10. Run out of fuel? No reserve. Nothing says rookie move like running out of gas in the middle of nowhere, especially when your bike doesn't have a reserve. Unlike cars, most motorcycles depend on smaller tanks, making fuel management critical. Running out of gas isn't just embarrassing, it can also damage your engine. When fuel runs low, your bike might suck up sediment sitting at the bottom of the tank, clogging fuel injectors or carburetors. Even worse, fuel helps cool and lubricate the fuel pump. No gas means your pump runs dry, potentially burning it out. To avoid this headache, make it a habit to fill up when you're down to a quarter tank. Pay attention to your bike's fuel gauge, if it has one, or reset your trip meter after every fill up to track mileage. If you have a reserve switch, know how to use it. The last thing you want is to flip it and find out it's already empty. Planning your refuels isn't just smart, it's a mark of a seasoned rider. Hey guys, don't let your friends wreck their bikes. Share this video now. Number 9. Letting the bike sit for months without running it. Motorcycles aren't big fans of hibernation. Letting your bike sit for months without starting it is like leaving milk in the fridge and hoping it'll be fresh later. It won't be. When a bike sits idle for too long, the fuel can go stale, turning into a gummy mess that clogs injectors or carburetors. Meanwhile, the battery slowly loses charge and might refuse to revive when you finally decide to ride. Tires can develop flat spots, and moisture might sneak into places it shouldn't, causing rust. If you know your bike will be sitting for a while, do it right. Add a fuel stabilizer to prevent the gas from breaking down, hook up a smart charger to keep the battery healthy, and consider putting the bike on stands to protect the tires. A cover can also help keep dust and moisture at bay. Even better, start your bike every couple of weeks and let it run for a few minutes to keep everything lubricated. Number 8. Ignoring overheating signs. When your motorcycle's temperature gauge starts climbing, it's not just being dramatic, it's a serious warning. Ignoring signs of overheating can lead to a blown gasket, warped cylinders, or even a seized engine. Overheating usually happens when coolant levels are low, the radiator is clogged, or the water pump isn't doing its job. Hot days, heavy traffic, or pushing your bike too hard can make things worse. If you notice the temperature creeping up, pull over, turn off the engine, and let it cool down. Never, and I mean never, open the radiator cap right away unless you enjoy surprise steam facials. Regular maintenance can prevent these problems. Keeping your bike cool isn't just about avoiding breakdowns, it's about extending engine life and saving your wallet from massive repair bills. Number 7. Running the engine with low or old oil. Oil isn't just a lubricant, it's also responsible for cooling and cleaning engine parts. When oil levels are too low or the oil is too old and dirty, metal parts grind against each other, causing overheating, wear, and potential engine failure. If you love your bike, check the oil regularly. Fresh oil should be golden or light brown. change it as your manual recommends, typically every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. And don't forget the oil filter. Skipping oil changes might save a few bucks now, but it could cost you a fortune in repairs later. Think of the oil as your bike's lifeblood. Keeping it fresh and topped off is the least you can do to keep the engine purring and the good times rolling. Number 6. Engine braking too aggressively at high RPMs. Engine braking is a useful skill until you overdo it. Aggressively downshifting at high RPMs is like trying to stop a roller coaster with your feet. It can cause a sudden jerk that stresses your drivetrain, rear tire, and even your wrists. Worse, it might lock up the rear wheel, which is a terrifying way to make new friends with the asphalt. Proper engine braking involves smoothly downshifting and matching your revs without slamming into lower gears. Engine braking can save your brake pads and give you better control on twisty roads, but it's not a substitute for using your brakes. Think of it as a way to assist, not replace your stoppers. Mastering the balance between brakes and engine braking makes for a smoother, safer ride, and keeps your transmission and tires happy too. Number 5. Riding with the clutch partially engaged. Riding with the clutch partially engaged is like jogging while dragging your feet. It wastes energy and wears you out fast. In this case, it's your clutch that suffers, not your legs. Slipping the clutch too much can cause excessive friction, which heats up the clutch plates and wears them down quicker than you can say repair bill. Avoid feathering the clutch in traffic for long periods. Use the throttle and brakes instead. If you notice a burning smell or your bike struggling to accelerate even when you're giving it gas, it's time to check the clutch. Replacing a fried clutch isn't cheap, so learning proper clutch control is worth the effort. Treat your clutch right, and it'll repay you with smooth shifts and a longer lifespan. Number 4. Shifting without the clutch. Shifting without the clutch on a manual motorcycle might seem like a pro move, but unless you've got a quick shifter installed, it's more like trying to pull a tablecloth without spilling the dishes. Risky and rarely smooth. The clutch's job is to briefly disconnect power from the engine to the transmission, making shifts smooth and safe. Without it, you're forcing gears to mesh under load, which can lead to chipped gears, bent shift forks, and a transmission that sounds like a blender full of rocks. If you're craving smoother, faster shifts, invest in a quick shifter, which cuts power for a fraction of a second to allow clutchless shifts safely. Until then, show your clutch some love. Use it properly, and your transmission will thank you by not exploding mid-ride. Number 3. Over-revving. Revving your bike to the red line now and then is fine. After all, engines are built for a bit of excitement. But hitting it too often is like slamming energy drinks every hour. Eventually, something's gonna give. Over-revving pushes your engine components to their limits, causing excessive heat, accelerated wear, and in extreme cases, valve float or even a blown engine. Your bike's tachometer has that red section for a reason, to remind you that while your engine might scream, it definitely doesn't enjoy it. To avoid trouble, shift up before you hit the red line and keep an ear out for how the engine sounds. Occasionally winding it out is fine, especially if you need to pass or you're feeling sporty, but don't make it a habit. Respect the red line, and your engine will keep purring without threatening to go boom. Number 2. Lugging the engine. Lugging the engine is like trying to pedal a bike uphill in the highest gear. It's exhausting and not very effective. When you ride in too high a gear at low speeds, your engine struggles to turn smoothly, causing vibrations, uneven power delivery, and potential damage to the crankshaft and bearings. It also puts extra stress on the transmission and drivetrain, which isn't doing your bike any favors. The fix is simple. Downshift to keep the revs in a happy range, usually above 2,500 RPM for most bikes. This not only prevents lugging, but also makes throttle response snappier and more predictable. Riding at the right RPM keeps oil flowing properly and prevents carbon buildup, which means a healthier engine in the long run. Number 1. Revving a cold engine too hard. Revving a cold engine hard is like sprinting out of bed the moment you wake up. Your bike needs a bit of warm-up time first. When the engine is cold, oil hasn't fully circulated, which means metal parts aren't properly lubricated. Revving too soon causes extra friction, which can lead to premature wear or even serious damage to the pistons, cylinders, and bearings. The best way to warm up your bike is to let it idle for a couple of minutes after starting, long enough for the oil to get moving, but not so long that you're wasting gas. Then, ride gently for the first few miles, keeping the revs moderate. Your engine will gradually reach the ideal operating temperature, and all its parts will be well lubricated and ready for action. Skipping the warm-up might save a few minutes, but it's a shortcut to engine wear and costly repairs. That's it, guys. Liked what you saw? Hit that thumbs up and let's keep riding together. For more motorcycle tips, tricks, and epic rides, smash that subscribe button.